Hello everybody, I'm back with another video for you today, and I wanted to jump into a bit of Nilfgaard, and a bit of a different deck to, anything poison related. Actually, only going to really be running tactics with the Imperial formation, a similar style to Imperial formation decks of old with their quote-unquote elder bears, Stefan and Damien. This version is leaning pretty heavily on Hefty, Helga, and Stefan, along with Letho Kingslayer to really, enable you to get another good engine. Of course, Stefan can now be moved along with Damien, so they're quite a bit weaker than they used to be. But you can still try to hide them behind your Fion defender. In some matchups, they won't have movement, so you won't need to worry too much. And the deck still has a lot of points if you're able to fire off those, nice briberies with your Helga on the board and your Stefan as well. And Triss is in here as a way to deal with the decks that go quite wide, elves, arguably even Lippy or Skellige with Gideoneth, etc. There's a lot of decks out there that can get punished by this row punish, even Northern Realms as well, getting rid of all the boosts from their units can be very, very useful. So just kind of a good all-round deck. If people can answer your Helga, if there's too many locks and movement and things like that, it can get a bit tricky, but most of the time you're going to have a decent shot at winning, and definitely a decent core of cards with the soldier package and the tactics package as well. So yeah, pretty exciting, pretty good deck. Do subscribe, by the way, guys, of course, as always, if you would like to see more videos before we jump into the games. Let's do that now. Okay, an Uprising opponent. Been playing against a lot of Uprising recently. And, in theory they do have some answers to some of our cards, but we definitely have a very good shot against them because of the lacerates and being able to probably get multiple briberies off on Thalibor or Philippa, really good cards potentially there to take from the opponent. Alright, I'm going to get rid of Tawny Joust. We don't have Helga, so it's not doing too much right now, and probably a Tortoise as well, not a bad card to find later on in the game. I don't have crossbows or Raymond, which is typically what you're probably going to want to use in round 1 to push it. The Tawny Joust would have been okay here, but no matter. We'll go on front row with Magni because we want to maybe play Mano and Triss on ranged. The placement with that is somewhat important.
Could have settled this amicably,
And the one thing this deck definitely lacks is tool removal in its current form. You can play Invocation or something like that, Peter maybe as well, but the version I have doesn't run that, so we're going to be a little bit vulnerable here to those tool units. He might be afraid of me having poisons though, and for that reason play around them, even though I don't have them. We'll see. He might also not care. We'll have to see about that. So I guess we can go with a Menno. We do have Royal Decree and Bribery both in hand already, so we can just thin out a battle preparation from our deck. It's not too bad, it'll help us stay in this round, and then we can go with Albus Spearman next, possibly. I could have gone for the Tawny Joust onto Royal Guard. That might have been a decent play, but I did want to get the Magni down as soon as possible to get the points rolling from that. And our Triss has the possibility to not find Lacerate, so that's something we should keep in mind, because the opponent plays Boiling Oil, so that means there's 4 spells which can be created. It's possible I won't get Lacerate. So we need to kind of be careful and not necessarily rely on finding that later on. Definitely like to win this round so I can push and deal with, some of the nastier Northern Realms things that can come out. The Draug, potentially. Boosting synergies, which are probably going to beat me in a long round if we go to that. So, alright, we actually get the win very easily. That's really nice.
Mashed potatoes with thick gravy.
Didn't really cost me too much at all. And yeah, deck's looking pretty good, so definitely having that, lack of tool removal will help us here, I think, against Northern Realms. They don't have very many good targets for that usually. Lacking the poisons can be a downside, but it can also be a benefit. in some cases. Let's get rid of Spearman, not too strong of a card. I think I will probably keep this hand. I could also mulligan the Magni. And I suppose maybe we should do that because it gives him the opportunity to maybe deal with my stuff. Ah, Helga's a great thing here. We'd probably like to just play that and control the board, I think, at this point. I'll play it on back row in case we go for the defender there as well. That's the next play. And you can Philippa this, that's kind of the one way for him to answer it. It's just a very expensive Philippa. He might decide not to do that. I mean, I could go double leader charge to preserve the Helga, but I think if he Philippas, it's okay. I'm just going to go for that now, so we need to decide what we do next. It might just be a Stefan, honestly, or a defender. It's actually kind of annoying that he did that. Maybe I should have played around it just because Helga would be a lot of value in this round. So we definitely want our Stefan to live now. That would be kind of key. Question is how to make that happen. I think defender's an okay play. He might go Baron, but Baron won't kill my defender, so I think I'll go defender and then follow up with Stefan, possibly with Letho. Because yeah, I do need to push the round. We can probably win round 3 using Raymond and soldiers and maybe leader value. If it's quite a short round 3. Because uprising will also be weaker, you know, in that kind of a round 3. So, you know, maybe there was an argument to start with that defender, but, you know, to protect Helga. But I don't think it's like not a huge deal, necessarily. Alright. Yeah. Opponent's really having some big things. It's going to go with Anses here. Wow. Wow, that's a really big commitment. So he's going to play his whole leader out here in order to get that duel off. Okay, that's really a big deal, I think. Not only was that leader not super valuable for him, the Scytheman that spawned, but yeah, I mean that's a big deal for sure. So I think I'm just going to play Stefan anyway. I think I can probably get my card back here. Just by playing my Stefans and my bribery, although I want to kind of save the Triss and Lacerate for as late as I can. They might not get too much value here. I think I'm just going to go in a bit. If we need to, we can use all of our leader charges, but at 7 strength, I think Stefan will live here. And definitely the Letho will live if Stefan doesn't. You can maybe move this with the War Chariot or something weird, but the chance that both Stefans are dealt with is very unlikely, I think.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
They already used Boiling Oil, so maybe I don't even need to buff them. Okay, Reynard is a bit annoying. But I think I will go for this really big bribery, double bribery turn in a second. I guess I'll boost again, it's probably ideal. And we're just wanting to still play quite a short round out, I think. I could have gone for sort of playing Triss and Lacerates, but I'd really quite like to get the card here if I can, and I think there's a pretty good chance that I can do that. Alright, I wonder if we should play Triss now to try to kill that battering ram with a Boiling Oil. Maybe not, maybe let's just go for the bribery. Okay, Anses, that's really good. So, do we want to kill Reynard or do we want to kill the battering ram is the question. And the answer is... maybe let's see what we get from one of the other briberies here. Okay. Opponent's just going to give up at this point. I mean, he's in a pretty terrible spot, of course, with those briberies popping off. Let's jump into another game, shall we? And now a bit of lockdown. This might be quite a bit trickier than the last opponent. You know, depending on what they have, they might have locks for our engines, which could be really annoying here. And of course, no leader value for us really sucks because my Afan won't be coming out of the deck here, which really makes me sad. But okay, we can maybe use Helga round 1. It's quite a big commitment. Again, we're on blue coin, which is not super good for me. Depends whether we want to use soldiers or Helga this round. I probably want to use soldiers, so I can keep the Afan and just play it. I think this hand's quite okay. I'll probably keep. I'll just play a proactive Afan, which, you know, does nothing in this matchup because I can't pull it out. So I'll just get that out of my hand. Not a very good player tool, but what can you do when you're against lockdown, right? The struggle is real. Okay, he's also gonna try to infiltrate me. So maybe we can try to hold on to the Raymond here. I'm gonna be a bit greedy with that, maybe. Could just play Helga. It'll probably get locked. So I guess playing the crossbow here is fine. We can then set up the Swears onto that infiltrator. Potentially steal some of that value for ourselves. I don't want to overcommit too much to this round, so I was thinking about going Menno for some removal value, but I think it's probably best not to.
Are yours to command.
Yeah, I think this is a decent Swears. We might get better, but
Hop to it, knaves.
it's a decent one. It makes his life a bit awkward. And now we can take a pass if we want to. I mean, our hand is very good. I don't particularly want to use Diviner because that unlock will come in, you know, very useful later on, I'm sure. I mean, the fact that he's playing Albric means I maybe could have briberied into that and got the Afan out of my deck, so that's a little bit awkward. A little bit annoying to realise, but not the end of the world.
Fools alone. Death.
Okay, the treasures are coming down. I guess I'm just going to take the pass now then. I don't particularly want to play it out. I don't think that's going to end too well for me. Let's take an early pass. This might end up hurting me, but I'm a bit scared of playing into the possible treasure value. Especially with my hand. My hand is very gold, so I think we just get rid of that bricked Afan this round, and we've got some infiltrator value as well, which is kind of neat. Makes this deck a bit worse. We'll see where we go from here. Definitely the soldiers can be useful for winning the round without, you know, using too much, without committing too much. I'm missing a little bit here, but I think we'll be okay. I can probably just keep this hand. I have enough kind of bad, good, bad cards, but I should be alright here, I think. Now the one annoying thing is if I want to go with that Raymond, it means I'm not going to be able to use it on Crossbowman, assuming I play that here. Possibly just going Triss and dealing with Magni is a good idea. Then again, maybe not. I think I do want to go with the Crossbowman, just so that I can set up maybe a kill on Magni with Raymond, or maybe not. Definitely we do want to deal with that before it grows too much, but I don't want to overcommit to the round here.
152.
Okay, that's pretty annoying actually. Makes it a lot harder to kill. So we probably will have to go with the Raymond here to actually have a chance of winning the round, but I think first I'll play the Tortoise. We might end up missing a point on the Raymond, but I'd rather just hold on to it until we can use it to burst ahead of him in points. And at least try to put him in an awkward spot where he maybe has to use a good card as well in order to get his card back. If I just play the Raymond out now, he can pass, and that's not going to feel too good. But yeah, we don't have a very good way to protect the Helga here, which kind of sucks.
Closer, come.
And he is going to lock down my Crossbowman, which is a pain. It is a pain. So I guess we've got Raymond, we've got other options, but Raymond for now seems fine. play that. I do want to try to kill this this annoying Magni division. It's taken quite a while, but we've got the Redare from him, so that's going to be most of his deck's provisions already gone, honestly. There's going to be a lot of bad bronzes remaining and the like. We'll see. We're probably going to have to play Helga this round and hope it doesn't get dealt with. It's very annoying because Tawny Joust can kill it, so we might even try to play Defender before Helga to, you know, hopefully sneak through that value. We'll see how it goes here. Right now we're ahead still, which is very nice. I'm eventually going to kill the Magni division, probably. Provided I want to do that. Okay, gonna be a surrender. Good thing we played Raymond on the other row. It's definitely not too bad of a play, although that's gone now, so we don't have to worry about it for later. I think I'm just gonna take the Alba Spearman again now, and yeah, he can definitely put me in an awkward spot here, but hopefully we'll make our way out of it. Definitely he's using quite a few provisions to make this push, whereas I'm playing a lot of bronzes. So that might end up being good for me.
Enough. Let us finish this.
We'll see. That's a very big crossbowman. A Raymond play now becomes quite scary. So the question is here, do we want to just go with Helga? I think the answer is probably yes. I mean, it's not super likely he'll actually have a way to deal with this, so I think I'm just going to drop it. He probably will have a Tawny Joust or a lock, but you know, I think he is also likely to have a Purify or an Invocation for my Defender, which I don't particularly want to give him.
An interesting choice.
Okay, Vilgefortz annoyingly putting Stefan on the wrong row. That is really unfortunate. But not the end of the world necessarily. We still have a bit of power left with the Letho Kingslayer, so I think I'm going to have to just take that now, take it and copy it. Copy my Stefan.
Nothing will stop us.
Nothing will stop us. Because he's not going to be very useful later anyway.
Improvise.
If this had gone on the range row, I would have been feeling quite good about this situation, but now it's a little bit worrying. But you know, we can play that bribery to take the round, I think. And we'll see. I mean, if he has a lock, it's not going to do much because I've got the unlock available. Okay. So I could also play a Decree with my Stefan right now, and honestly that might be worth it. I think I want to go for bribery onto Vilgefortz if I can to deal with Redare. That would probably be good for me. So let's go for that now. Joachim's another good option. Redare's only 8 points. Joachim is probably more, although it might play a little bit into his cards. I think I'll take it. And it helps my Lacerate get more value here. That's a pretty good one to get.
What is it now?
And let's go for that second bribery as well. Okay. So unfortunately not getting a good option from the second bribery there. That does hurt us quite a bit.
With thick gravy.
But you know, we can definitely get ahead on the next play. It's just going to be, yeah, not really ideal. Having to use Triss or Defender. We'll see. Maybe he's going to make the mistake of pushing too far here. Okay, Purifying Shoop might mean he's going to replay that. But let's go with Triss now to get ahead. Okay, we're not going to find the good options here. This is quite an unlucky game. No Lacerate for us in this particular round, but you know, we're still getting ahead, so it might not be the end of the world. Definitely not the best option there though. And our deck is looking quite, you know, quite weak at this point. We can maybe muster a couple of 7s in the round 3. But okay, he's actually going to go with an invocation on my spearman there. I'm just going to force my, both of my cards.
The stars contend you shall be victorious today.
Yeah, this is a very unfortunate round 2 for me,
Victory is on the wing.
all things considered. If we get the Lacerate there, we're just a card up in round 3. If we get the Stefan on the back row, we're also a card up in round 3. Just kind of a big yikes situation. Getting a bit unlucky on the random rolls. And of course Lockdown's probably not going to be a great matchup for us regardless, but we'll see what we can do. We can maybe manage some kind of Magni Tortoise round 3 for a bit of value. Lacerate is going to be pretty poor here, I think. Recruit's not too bad. I think Battle Prep is not great. Magni is most likely a little bit better. Tawny Joust, on the other hand, is most likely a little bit worse. So we'll see, we got kind of a 4 and a 6 and a 7, not the highest value cards. The opponent's used a hell of a lot of his stuff though already. Funny, I actually literally just played around Pikeman, because he might have randomly had it. He actually did.
Scrubbing duty again?
I was going to play in front, but then decided not to. So hopefully there's kind of equally bad cards here for him. Realistically, it should be the case.
No passage.
And yeah, looks like it. Does he have an 8 now is the question. I think it's not too likely. He's used most of his power at this point. A bit of an anticlimactic round 3, but yeah. At the end of the day, we should probably always be winning that once he commits so much in round 2. But yeah, bit of an unlucky game, but we still managed to come out on top just about. Deck definitely can win even without those leader charges for protection. Really movement is the main downside, but there's not too many decks running a lot of that, so not too bad at all. I like this style of playing Nilfgaard and not relying too much on the poisons. It's definitely the way I prefer to play the faction. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Bit of a shorter video today. I'll be back to making regular kind of length and building some new decks and stuff in the coming days. Just been moving apartments, so it's been a bit tricky. But thanks for hanging in there, guys. Anyway, that being said, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.